though, because you started collecting coins as a child, and you pass on that love.
My grandmother gave me a 1922 peace dollar.
Oh wow!
Sat at her kitchen table with my cousins, and she had her little stack of peace dollars, and we went around and we got to pick them out one at a time, the four of us, and we grabbed this one and this one and this one, and that started my coin collection. I was no more than about 8. Then I went on to become, I was a coin dealer by the time I was 12 years old.
Wow, I think that's phenomenal because you want to teach your kids about history. This, I'm so excited about the last 20 years of Indian head cents from 1890 to 1909. It's $99.95 and you get all of these coins, 3 flexible payments, $33.32 to get this home. If you're a true collector, you just don't want to miss out on this.
Yeah, and here's the interesting part of this. We had these last week. I had some of these last week. And we had about 500 of them. And we sold them, basically sold them out, okay? And it's interesting because coin dealers watch us. And the hard coin to get in here is going to be the 1894 right here, okay? This 18, is that 1894? I'm thinking 899, yeah, 94. That's the hard coin in here, in all honesty, with that in terms of value, in terms of picking it up. And so I had some more sets, but I had no 1894s. And so a dealer who was watching the show knows me, calls up and says, you said you were having a hard time with the 94s, I've got some. And so that allowed me to buy that coin, because it's not like I go, say, call a guy and say, hey, give me a bunch of these sets. I got to buy 50 of this coin and 20 of this coin and 18 of this coin and 19 of this coin, and then we got to expect each one for quality, and we send back 4 of these and 3 of these and 7 of these until I get 400 of each coin.
Okay.
And then we have to have our trained numismatic staff put each and every one of them in their own individual airtight holders so that you see this coin right here. So this is an original Indian head cent. Check that out. These holders are 59 cents a piece. There's 20 of those. You get 13. You get a $20 box. So by the time you're in this, you're basically $79, let's call it. So you're basically $4 a coin. So if you see one of these coins right here, if you saw this at a garage sale and they had $4 on it, you'd pick it up and take it right to the front and give them $4 immediately. If they said I didn't have change and you gave them a $5, you'd let them keep the dollar. So you know this is valuable. Now I want to talk to you about the real value in this. Okay. The real value to me is the fact that it's a contiguous set. In other words, we start in 1890 and end in 1909. There are coins in here that are more difficult and more rare. Interestingly enough, while the most difficult coin for me to get is the 1894, the most expensive coin in the set is actually the last coin, the 1909. Because in 1909 was the year that they started the Lincoln cent. And so the vast majority of the resources of the United States government went to making the Lincoln cent in its first year, commemorating the 100th anniversary of the birth of Abraham Lincoln. But they made some Indian head cents, but not a lot. That's why this coin individually, I think it's probably in this catalog, I'm almost certain, last time I looked it up, it was like $32.50.
Just for that one?
For this coin.
Right.
For this
last
coin.
One.
They don't even list all the coins. Of the ones they list, the least expensive coin they list is $8.25. So if you take the $8.25 and the extra money for this, you're looking at almost $200 if you would buy this coin by coin from someplace else. It's why it's a customer pick. Now, when I had some of these last week, it had been the first time that we had sold them since 2015. Oh, wow. Because they'd been so extraordinarily difficult to get.
And hard to come by.
They're very hard to get. And by the way, I would suggest hsn.com. We're very, very busy in the phones. People are ordering these. Great opportunity to get in and become a real coin collector with real American coins. These are real American Indian head cents from 1890 to 1909, absolutely complete. Now, when I get and sell these in prime time tonight, every single solitary one of them will be gone. So this is your chance, unless you're going to tune in tonight.
I'm excited about the 1900 one, just that 20th century
My mistake. The 1909 is in the catalog. It's $45.
45, even more.
Yeah, $45 for that coin.
The great value for
right there. And I'm looking. They don't even show. And there's the 94. They have the 94 at 12. No, they don't even list the 94. They skip it. They go from 93 to 95 in the catalog right here when they're showing this. So you can see they list the dates right here, and there's 1893, 1895. They don't even list the 1894. So they're having a hard time getting it too. All the other ones are listing it between $8 and $12 is what they're going to do, and then $45 for the 18. How about we're going to go basically counting the packaging, $4 a coin. own a piece of American history.
Amazing value, and the historic just lesson here is just phenomenal. And so there's no accident of why you're here right now. $99 is a phenomenal value when you would get 20 coins for $200 and up. He already pointed out that last coin for $45. So you're getting all of these, and you get it home for $33.32. And we don't always have flex pay. So I hope you take advantage of the fact that you can pay this out. So that allows you to get, you know, maybe the Mickey coin if you want something different, shaped like a heart, along with this, that this is so incredibly rare that you're getting 20. I mean, you remember probably from when you were a kid, the Indian head?
Well, let me explain to you. When I was a kid, okay, like I said, I was a little coin dealer collector then. Yeah. So I would take my paperboy money, okay, and I would run down to the bank and I would buy rolls of pennies. So $30 at a time. That's what I made in a month. Made 30 bucks a month. And I go down and get rolls of pennies, and what I was hoping to get was 1 or 2 or 3 of these, if I was lucky.
If you were
now, you have to
lucky.
understand, back then, they were really only worth 50 cents, even back then, and
right.
that was a long time ago.
Well, you look great.
Thanks. That was a long time ago, but that
great.
50 cents, you know, when you make 30 bucks a month, you know, and you can make an extra $4 getting Indian, just sorting through pennies, that's pretty good work. And so I would do that, and then, of course, you'd go down, and then I'd buy $29.75 worth of pennies, because then I'd keep the old wheat pennies. Of course, when I was a kid, they were all wheat pennies. So they weren't all that special, but we'd try to get these, and then after that, they'd say, okay, we're not selling you any more pennies, and I'd go to nickels and look for Buffalo nickels, which you can find on hsn.com, of course, and then you'd try to do dimes, but you know, you don't get that many when you're down to 30 bucks looking for silver dimes and all that other stuff. So this was the thing that we really went to and really went. Now, extremely busy in the phones on this already. I said that we are quite likely to sell it out in prime time. I can now absolutely guarantee prime time sellout because we're going to sell a lot of them right here, right now. Very popular. Let me show you this coin right here once again. This is the 1909 Indian head cent. Now, everybody's familiar with the 1909 Lincoln cent, the first year of the Lincoln cent. Most people don't know that they made an Indian head cent in 1909. Like I said, in the nationally advertised catalog in fine condition, $45 for this coin.
For just that one.
$45. Now remember, we're $99 for 20
That's a
coins.
phenomenal deal.
For 20 coins. You can get every single solitary one of them the last 20 years. And here's the other thing. It's not like, sometimes, and don't be fooled with this, it's the 20 years, it's not just 20 random Indian head cents. Sometimes they'll do that. Because actually, like the easier ones are 1904, 1905 are kind of a little easier to get in this. The 7s and 8s are actually a little harder. Anything from the 1800s is more difficult. So, you know, you can get 20 Indian head cents, not for this price, but they're not going to be different. These are not only different, they're the last 20 years. So that, you know, you get every single solitary one of them. It's literally, you're starting your collecting right there with one call. You can basically get them all, the last 20 years by date of the Indian head cent from 1890 to 1909. It's absolutely, positively one of my favorite collectibles, and clearly with the customer pick and with everybody on the phone, it's clearly one of your favorite collectibles as well.
Oh, absolutely. So get it home for $33.32. If you're a novice, what a get, right? This is just a fantastic find to start off with. And you may think, oh, you know, I'm not a coin collector, and I thought about it before I did this show. I'm actually a coin collector because when I went to Italy, I saved my coins because I was so fascinated. But these are your American coins with American history that is just so rich.
Well, these have created coin collectors themselves. The very first time I presented this set 2 or 3 years ago with Callie Northagen, I was sitting here and we were presenting this, and Callie left. She went over to the side, got her phone, and ordered one. Oh, wow. Because she saw that they were going to sell out. And so that started her. She bought them for her son.
I'm so impressed by this.
Yeah, and so they go in there because you gravitate to this. Because if there's the only other coin that is as uniquely American as this would be the Buffalo nickels, okay, which are so uniquely American. But you look at this, you can drop this coin basically anywhere in the world, and people will pick it up. Oh, American coin. You know what it is, and it's so simple. That's the thing that I love about that. You have the Indian head cent, and it just says United States of America with the date, and on the back, 1 cent. That's it.
And this is 95% copper. I mean,
they don't make, by the way, you know, they don't make pennies out of copper anymore.
Right, that's why it's so
made out of
incredible.
manganese and zinc.
I just love the history. I love history, loved all of that, you know, political science, history, that was my thing. But just what a history lesson for your children, that this is 1890 to 1909. And one coin alone he showed you cost $45. So it's an amazing value. The order number is 422-263. I hope you don't miss out on this because it will sell out later. What time are you on later?
7 p.m., 7 to 9.
p.m. So that's prime time.
And
so
that'll be gone.
Get it right now. Why everybody else may be asleep.
And keep in mind, those individual airtight holders right there, 59 cents a piece. You're going to get 20 of those plus the box.
Yeah, and the box is absolutely beautiful. And so remember that these are incapacitated, which is just a fancy word with the packaging that is going to preserve this coin even further. So this is a phenomenal deal. Go to hsn.com or go to our HSN app because we